Greetings everyone, it's your boy Siphiwe, Yola Mbata. I'm back again with a new entrepreneur video. And in this video, I'm so excited because I'm going to be interviewing a legend in the arts industry of South Africa. He's done a lot. And I was so fortunate also to work with him in my comedy feature film, The Payout, which won an award in Nairobi, Kenya. And he was the lead. You're gonna love this episode. You're gonna love this episode. But don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos from Paper Media. Siphiwe, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Can you introduce yourself to the viewers? Like, who are you?
Yes, my name is Siphiwe Nkosi. I've done a lot of television, a lot of theater, a lot of call and respond. And I also taught art. I had an opportunity to learn also quite a lot, directed a few movies, and working on one as we speak.
Siphiwe, you are a legend, and I grew up watching you on TV. You know, growing up, I would see you on TV when you you would make us laugh. But I would like to know, where were you born?
Man, Siphiwe was born in Katlehong. East Rand, yeah, wise men come from the east. I was born from the east. All my education happened in the east. I started at Monde, Thokoza School, Alafang, and then Katlehong High School. And of which originally I'm from Mpumalanga. My mom is still there. Hello, mom. Here. And still it's also on the east, so you know, east and me always together. Before the fame, I was part of the self-defense unit at Katlehong in the East Rand. We did a lot of things, we saw a lot of things. We fought for change, we brought about change, which was a democratic way. Then after such, I decided that, okay, when people were now being integrated, I never wanted to carry a gun anymore. I asked myself, did I intend carrying guns? The answer was no. Well, there were conditions, forcing conditions that made me carry guns before. What was my first love? My first love was acting. So I started pushing my struggle when I was with the Youth League in Katlehong through poetry. That was my powerful form of expression then. Then later on joined theater and did a lot of protest theater. Among some of the things I've done that were protest, I've done Born in the Right Time, Booyah, Born in the USA, did Sarafina, and I did quite a handful under the mentorship of Mbongeni Gema. I did a lot of musicals. I went abroad, stayed years in different places, joined other companies, worked with them abroad, and we shared ideas, our previous experiences back home. Further on, incapacitated myself through learning about art, even though I was at a level whereby I felt that, okay, once you've reached this level of international status, you no longer need to. Then my conscience said, listen, imfunda ikhulelwa, that's what we say, it's one of the idioms in isiZulu. Then I decided, let me study even further. Then I went on learning some more, of which I want the youth to know that it's never too late, that's one. Two, it's never enough. Every time you need to learn every day. I'm going to phrase this in isiZulu. Funda ufundiseke, meaning get educated but also be nurtured. You know, there's a difference. So some people are educated but they don't have a background of themselves. They don't know who they are, where they're coming from. And if you don't know where you're coming from, definitely you want to know where you're going. But it's not about that today. I would like to encourage the parents to allow the youth in participating in aspects and careers that are evitable, that this one is capable of doing this and that and that. Let's nurture the child on that. Let's give the child support. It's a terrible experience for you to be nominated, for you to win awards, for you to be given accolades, and you're looking at the back, and there's nobody from family. You know, it's just your coach and the teammates who are spurring you on and who are saying good work. You know, you feel like I should look in the audience there and maybe see mom and be like, Mom, this one is for you. And once you start taking off, then you get them saying, yeah, that's my boy. You know, I was supporting this boy. He didn't want to do this, and I was behind it. Stop that, parents. It's a terrible experience. Support your kids.
Yeah.
We can't all be doctors. We can't all be IT specialists. We can't all be. Some people are not so much given a talent when it comes to sitting behind the desk and doing things. I'm not saying people shouldn't go to school. No, don't get me wrong. But it is a fact. Some people are not cut for that.
So parents must allow kids, if they want to get into the art space, they must allow them.
Exactly.
Because not everyone will be a lawyer, not everyone will be a doctor.
Exactly.
Some are creative people. But perhaps I would like to know this, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, when you were growing up, did you ever think that you would be an actor, or was it your dream?
Very interesting. Usually people say I started singing at 3, and my major question is, how do you remember that? In my case, though, I started singing when I was 7. If we had videos, I think we could be having that. We'd make our own makeshift band, you know, where you take your 5-gallon fuel or gasoline tanks, a staff made of wood, and some fish laying, and you make your strings, you create your own guitar, and
Sure.
your paint containers, different sizes, you put them together, take wood, chop it nicely, and take sandpaper, and you have your own set of drums and stuff. So we would sing, and I was a lead vocalist most of the time. And that's when I knew that, okay, more than any other thing, performance is my game.
And
so I did singing, acting, and dancing then. And when I was growing up,
in high school?
way before high school.
Like primary?
Yeah, primary.
Sure.
I'm talking in 70s.
70s?
Yeah,
Sure.
and then I started acting like professionally. I was the youngest in our group. That was in 1978. Now every time when schools are closed, I was never home because I would be gone with the band. Come festive season, I'm never home. I'm gone with the band. At times, would have delays to return to school because I was on tours. That is the story of my life. And how I got to get a part, I would come wanting to watch guys rehearsing, and they check me out, and I'd be a peeping Tom. You know, they're rehearsing in the garage, and peeping there, standing. And one day, the main guy was sick, so they had to cancel their shows, and I knocked on the door and said, yeah, what do you want? I'm like, no, I think I can come to your rescue. How so? He said, look, I know all his lines. We call them lines then. I know all his lines. I know his dance moves. I know, you know, everything he does. So now get out, you're wasting our time. And on my way out, someone says, let's give him a try. What if he's telling the truth? They gave me the lady he was acting with. The guy was preserved, so they gave me the lady he was acting with, who was a senior, of course. We started acting, and I cracked the role, and they were impressed that, okay, he knows the lines line by line. He's not just mixing up everything. And then they said songs, I sang his songs. Dance moves, I did his moves, and the tour went on. So I became a star from the onset. The very first gig, superstar.
But then this was before you appearing on TV.
Yeah, that's way before I appeared on TV. And my first role on TV, very funny as well, you know. I was coming back from Germany, and I had
You've
friends.
been to Germany as well, Siphiwe?
I've been all over the world except the Soviet. So yeah.
So wait. So when you were in high school, that's when you got into acting.
Yes.
Did you have an agency to join the industry, or?
No, it was an individual thing, and my agency actually saw me in theater, then recruited me. I didn't go out to seek for an agency, and I think some of the handful friends of mine also were targeted at theaters. They'd come and watch shows and pick up that this is a good performer. They'd actually invite you to join their agencies, unlike now where you have to pop out money and they've got to audition you and they've got to determine whether they take you or not. So which was a different situation then.
And can I ask, Siphiwe, so you're saying that time you didn't even have an agent, so you were found through theatre.
Yes.
And so someone who was working in the entertainment industry, they saw you in theatre and they said, would like to cast you for like a TV. Like, how did you enter the TV space?
To be precise, she came to watch one of the shows. I can't remember
The
what
theatre show?
Yes, which was running at the Market Theatre that I was part of, but I was one of the leads. And after the show, I see this Mlungu woman saying to me, I want to talk to you, and I was in a hurry. You know, I wanted my beer. Across the theatre, we had a beautiful place known as Yard of Ale then. I said, yeah, you can follow me, you know, because it was not appealing. Nothing was appealing for a Mlungu to come and want to talk to me. I was expecting you did a good show, and I was ready with my thank you very much. And I was on the rush. And she said, no, whatever you want, I'll come with you, but please bear with me. Then I started picking up the backpack she had because I felt she was wasting my time. And there we were sitting. She said, no, you can even order food. I said, this one looks at me and thinks, here's another black man hungry. I said, no, I'm full. I don't need food. And I'll pay for my bill. Thank you. How can I help you? I was so mean. And up to date, I don't like it. And then she said, look, my name is so-and-so, and I'm running an agency. What's that? See, we seek jobs for you around. And
but can I ask, how old were you at this time?
I was in my teens, I think, between 17 and 19, around those.
So before then, you didn't even know about agents or about the industry of film and television?
In fact, I was not interested in television. I was not interested in anyone telling me what to do, what not to do at any given time. Because I remember when my parents sent me to go to work, I lasted for 3 days, and that's the longest I've worked. So beyond that.
Which job was this?
I was a storeman. And too many things in a short space of time put me on the wrong side. The first one, you know, you're given codes that the customer is always right. And so my first customer was a Mlungu. I helped and I learned quickly. The second one is a Mlungu. And then I think 3 or 4 were delivery boys. That's what we called them then. And I was cool with them. But man, the next day came this guy. And for me, it was the first time to know. I think even youngsters that are black, you know, we had little time or minimal time to meet with white people. So I never thought white people could stutter. So here comes this guy, he's coming to buy, and he's like, good morning. I think maybe he's joking, then I'm like, good morning. How are you? I'm fine. Tell me. Can you help me? I say, yeah, I can help you. But in my subconscious, it's more like, what is he up to? This guy is funny. Then he went for his bag, he took the sample. Have you? One of these, I was dead. I was floored, Siphiwe. And I laughed out so loud. I thought, and they knew he was in trouble, so they came, rescued the guy, and I was given a written warning. And I was like, I thought he was kidding. He said, no, customer is always right. You can't laugh at the man is struggling to speak. I said, I never thought white people could do that. I thought it was a black sickness, you know.
Oh, and then they chased you away because of that?
No.
Yeah.
Now, that was my second day.
Yeah.
The third day, here comes this guy, you know, shabbily dressed, he's in khakis. He comes, he messes up with the black man who was teaching me the job. And far old enough to be my father, of course. He's pushing him and started touching his balls. And I was very quick to reprimand him that, look, you don't do that. And he's like, so what? You know, what are you going to do? He said, no, I'm not going to do anything, but you're not going to do that again. This guy is a senior, and this guy is helping us. Remember the anger and everything I had from school, fresh from school as an activist.
This was during the apartheid time?
Yes, to the working industry. And for me to see that man doing all the nonsense and a senior questioning to him, it got more political. And he came straight to me and said, if I do it, what are you going to do now? You're not going to try it with me. I'm going to murray. Then he pushed me on the chest and said, try it. I said, do it again. He did. I did not decide to murray him. It happened. And everyone in the company was telling me, Balega, I came across the person who hired me, so that was Mr. Hughes, and I said, Mr. Hughes, I just moved someone who messed up with us. And they were asking me, who's the guy? When he looked up, he saw the owner of the company standing up bleeding, and he was like, oh my goodness, I'm fired. Then I knew it was big trouble. So I went down, jumped over the fence, left my clothes in the lockers, ran in coveralls, got a taxi, got home, ran away from my home. And later on I was told that now you beat the Makulubas, the owner of the company. So that was the longest short 3 days of my life.
Okay, you can write a movie, that can be a movie.
I'm considering that, but then that was the last time.
You worked?
I worked. Everything I have now is through show business. The houses I have, the kids that I've sent to school, to show business. I manage like any other parents, and so everything I have is through show business.
You know, some of the discussion that we sometimes have with young people is that, you know, the industry cannot sustain, you know, for example, you can't get a salary that can sustain you in the industry for a long term. But since you're saying that everything you have, you got it from the industry, it means that there is opportunities in the industry for us to grow financially.
Exactly. You see, in any art fraternity, we need discipline, especially when it comes to financial issues. And unfortunately, there are no institutions that care about artists. All the people that get closer to artists have their silly, if not selfish intentions, because the media will get close to you when you're still making it. They'll be the very first people to destroy you if you no longer buy them cold drinks, if that's how you actually survive. Everyone is ready to attack you as if you've done anything wrong, even if you're always good to people. And more than that, we are also not disciplined. Look, possibilities are you can earn around $1 million in 3 months, but then discipline comes in, particularly at that time. You are not going to behave as if every 1 month you get 1 million. Tell yourself every month you get 10 or 20, work around that and survive around that. So where we go wrong as artists, if I have this million, I blow it up as if I'm guaranteed of the next million. And when you look around, you feel indebted to all their friends who take you for drinks, who take you for that. And then instead of buying your own car, you'll be actually servicing their cars, giving them money, giving them instructions, and you think this is the way to go. That's not the way to go. Build your own house. Going to penthouses is not the way to go. Someone would be paying around 15 grand a month and stay in a penthouse. Now in 10 months time, you have 150,000, which is good enough to deposit your house or a house of your choice. Now someone tells you, I've been staying in this penthouse for the past 12 years. You could have had a mansion way above $1 million paid off. So these are little things. We need people that can come and assist us. That buying of repairs and having a maroon one and a silver one and a white one, it's not worth it.
You know, it's I like what you said now, Wuti. Artists need to be disciplined, which I feel like is something which maybe, is maybe other artists are disciplined, maybe others are not. But I like the fact that you mentioned that, Wuti, if you want to earn $1 million, don't act like you're earning it every month. You must be able to save, invest. That's very, very interesting, and I'm sure a lot of people watching will be inspired, to hear that, But I would like to know one thing. So you mentioned, Wuti, an agency found you while you were in theater. So after you found this agency, like what happened? Did you get a TV gig same time? Like what happened?
No. I'd like to finish what I was saying and then back to your question.
Yes, for sure.
Also, I would like to appeal to our fans. Our fans are very ruthless out there. When they want you for gigs, they tell you, I'll buy you a bottle. That is in line of your profession. They are not prepared to pay you. But for as if and you've got homes, maybe, or a home to look after. You've got kids and mouths to feed. And when you're battling, they say, TV, you are the very people who are not supporting the people you want. Two, you put pressure. And then he goes and put himself in installment and debts himself. And then when they come and take the car, you stay in the township, yeah. You move to Sentin, say, yeah. You come back. So never as an artist live to people's expectations and never care what they say. Care about what you want, achieve what you want at your pace, in your own way, at your right time. But then coming back to what you said, my agency got hold of me and I said fine, because everything was free. I was signed on the spot.
And the spot?
Yeah, and then I was given a call. Look, there's an audition at such and such a place. I'm like, okay, we were still using landlines then. When? They say Tuesday. They say, no, look, I'm not coming. Yeah, but why? You can't let me down. I've booked you already. What's the meaning of book? No, I've made preparations that you're coming. If that has got to happen, it's got to happen today. It's Friday, it's got to happen today. Failing which, no. Why? Because Monday, I'm going to Japan. So I won't be around.
You're going to Japan with the theater?
Yeah, with theater productions.
Hey,
because they are the ones who take me like all over the world. It's not television or film. So upon my return, we did a show at Windy Brow with some guys, local guys, very lovely people. Yo, Palisa Madisa Kwane, Bidam Ruahomu, Philip Homu, Chechilin T, the late Chipa Olifant. It was quite a handful. It was a Julius Caesar cast. And Uwe Bergman was having an audition along with Pesilanga and David Skosana. So I accompanied the guys. They were going for an audition. So we all went off after our rehearsal. Theater rehearsal, we went to Randbeck, I think. Yeah, I think they were in Randbeck. So when we got there, they had the scripts and they're battling with their scripts. I'm helping them run their lines. So Percy came out and he's yelling at me, "What's wrong with you? Huh?" He had food in his mouth. "What's wrong with you? We want to finish, we want to go home early. You are busy gallivanting, you're busy with other guys, you're disturbing the other artists. Do you know your lines?" And I'm like, "What lines?" And then Peter Mruachom was like, no, he'll be knowing his lines soon. He did not get the script. See? You did not get the script and you're busy with other artists. Follow me, come fetch your script. And I'm like, "What script?" Go. Then I went, I got the script, I read the script. And they're still battling with their lines and I'm done with this. I said, "No, tell the guy you're done." I said, "Excuse me, I'm not done. It's Saturday, man. We're still eating, we haven't finished." "Yeah, but I'm done." So okay, come in. They continued, they never checked at me, you know. I got in there, cracked the lines, and then that caught their attention. And they were like, "Did you really read this now?" I'm like, "Yo, no." So what? So no, it can't be. So okay, give me another script. They give me the script, I look at the script, I say, "I'm ready." Say, "What do you mean?" So no, "I'm ready to give you this." Because they were wondering, "Why are you not going out?" I said, "No, but I read this." So okay, give us. I hit the script just like this. I said, "No, man, something is not right with you." And Skosana is more like, he was very big. He's more like, "Ndwana." I said, "No, I'm not in Ndwana, I'm old." So okay, can we give you another script? I said, "Tell you what, give me a female part, very old script, very short, long ago, any part. I'll come do it for you in less than 5. And he perused, got a script, I think, it was one of their old short scripts. And I said, "Read this woman." I went out, I went there, and I came back and said, "I'm ready." Then they stop completely eating and say, okay, give us. I hit it just like that, and in character of a woman this time.
Sure.
And then they started telling me that, we thought you were useless. Percy is outspoken, I like them, and we're friends as we speak. Because I thought useless in China. Yeah, no. I'm impressed. I go to David, he'll decide. David and Vusi will decide. And they said, no, we want you for the lead role on this. I say, what? Me lead role? They say, yeah, you've got the lead. I'm like, okay. So I go to Elmina, she'll take you through, and then they started measurements and all the stuff, wardrobe, but then also it became very unfortunate. When they were beginning to shoot, I was going back to Germany.
For the theater?
For the theater production.
So this was the audition of your first
TV production.
What was the name of this TV
production? Not JV, Boom Sprite.
Sure.
That's where Palisa got the lead role and the late Temba. Temba got the role because I was going away. So he was the next option. He got the role that I was supposed to play. Then I went to Germany. Upon my return, they were just about to finish and they heard that I was around. Then they created a role, they made me a journal, and I came, did the role, and I was remembered for the role. Now that was my first job for television, and the rest was history.
I would like to know this, with regards to Emzini Wezinzizo, where a lot of people they know you from that role. How did you get that role? Was it your second TV gig, or like how many did you do before you got to
I've lost count of how many, in fact, but Emzini was not my second. I have done Mubango, I've done your other productions then. Emzini is very interesting. The role I played, I think, was the role that my brother played. Jablani did the role, but initially I was supposed to do the role. Same reason, I was not available. And
you were supposed to do the role in Emzini Nsizwa?
Yes.
You were supposed to be you were the first person that they cast.
Yes.
But because
not the first, I think the third. They casted Braganza and then Job Kubasi. It was supposed to be me, and then instead of me, it was my brother Jabo. And after him, I came. And we used to enjoy the role way before Emzini, me and him, to even interplay and interact it. Because for me, he's very hilarious. I find so much pleasure when I listen to him doing it. And vis-a-vis, when I do the dialect to him, that's where he gets entertained. I think that's how it works, when the next character is giving you that, you get the gist. But if you are dealing it out, it's more of a challenge, so to you it's not funny. But when the other person is doing it, you get all the fun. So yeah.
So with Emzini Nsizwa, after you did that role, like after you played your role in Emzini Nsizwa, I think it was Churanen.
Yeah.
I still remember. What did you do afterwards in terms of the TV industry?
Phew, I've done a lot. I've done your Home Sweet Home, I've done Lotto Numbers, I've done Matambo Jackpot, I've done too much. It's just unfortunate. I lose count because every time I do a role, I focus on it such that I become that role. You see, with theater experience, it teaches you that this is not just a job. I'm not, unlike someone who's going to the corporate world, I'm just doing my job. No, every time you've got to focus, cleanse your mind of all the past and focus on that particular character. And by so doing, a lot of things go by. Because at times when I'm just sitting at home, watching certain channels, they bring old stuff, and some of them you more like, there I go. By the way, I did that. When it's so much handful. But my first love, I still maintain, is theater. There's no cut, there's no take two, there's no fluff. And most of the things I've done on television, they know I'm a one take specialist.
No, you remember
You know which I worked with you, so you know better. I'm a one-take specialist. Most of the sets, I think 99.99 micro know me as a one-take specialist.
I remember on the payout, we'll do a scene, and then you don't forget your lines. That's one thing that I love. You remember your lines, and also it's not like you are memorizing the lines. It's like you are that character, which is amazing. But what would you like to say? I know we can speak. We can speak forever, not finish. I know, But I thank you, Praspil, for sharing great stories. Telling us about how you got in the industry. I'm sure a lot of people are want to be inspired. They want to be entertained when they watch this video. Like, what are the challenges that legendary artists are facing now in the industry? Because you find that some will say we are not being given opportunities, anymore. Like, what kind of challenges are you facing, and what would you like to see change in the industry to accommodate, legendary artists?
Look, challenges are one. When people come from an institution, be it your NSA, your FUBA, or whatever institution of art, people tend to come together as classmates or schoolmates and work on their projects. Now the thing is, their world, because art is creating your own world and giving it your own coloring as you paint along. Their world differs in such that they don't have the real world. You find that when they cast, they want to cast amongst themselves. So even for parents, it will be from the same generation, kids, same generation, totally meaning a same age group. It's all subconsciously in their mind that we need to support one another as fellow schoolmates. And that leaves out certain generations, and you tend to get actors would be saying, reminding you, if I'm playing a father and I have to tell someone who's my peer or a bit older than me that he's my son, half the time I'm going to be reminding him that Yola, because subconsciously I'm aware that we peers. But if you cast someone who is old enough to be your father, it's naturally, most of the time he'll be going like Yola. When he says Yola, then you know you're in trouble. And you really actually need to sit down and talk with the old man. So these are little things that we tend to do, and we forget the real people that we're supposed to cast. Two, we forget the experience they have. Most of the legends we have, God nature, they never went to school to study arts.
True.
But they are brilliant actors. It remains a fact. And we tend to leave them out because they did not go to institutions, and forget all the gem that they are, and we don't bring it along with us. So that way it makes us weaklings when we become internationally competitive, because we stay stagnant, we never grow. But if we bring back the old art, fuse it with what we learn, that way there'll be ample growth, which can bring us onto the top. Even some top comedians, we tend to say, this is a top South African comedian. He'll never come back from other comedians, because really, when we have to be honest and do introspections, he's not top. We're leaving behind the top comedians because they're old. And we bring the one that we should be fusing with the old, so that he can be empowered by the old. If he can use their skills plus his trade, fuse together, then he can become powerful. So we take possibilities, the would be, and put them at the end of the ditch, and it's not serving the purpose.
But you feel like social media as well has a role to play in that, that the older generation, they are being forgotten?
Most definitely. You see, most of us are BBTs, born before technology. So if you say to someone he's got to stream, he's got to be on Zoom, he's got to be on whatever form of social media, it's a challenge. If the grandkids are not around, or the kids are not there, it becomes a hassle, because you can go in 2, 3, then it becomes a problem. So yes, they do play a role.
Oh, okay. No, Praspiwa, I thank you, because I know when we start talking, we won't finish. We can speak the whole day. But I would like to thank you, Praspiwa, for making time, to come and speak with me and for us to do this video. I know a lot of people are going to be inspired when they see this video. I know a lot of young people are going to be inspired. And, you heard from Praspiwa that we need to remember, the people who are legends, the people who are pioneers of the film and television industry. We must not forget them. As much as we are progressing, as much as the industry, technology is coming in, digital streaming platforms are coming in, we must also remember the legends as well, because they have something which, you find that is not there, which is experience, because experience cannot be bought, So I've worked with Praspiwa on the payout. Look what happened, it won an award, because of you playing the lead role. And I also learned a lot from you on set, and you are an amazing person, Praspiwa, and looking forward to working with you more. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time to, I don't know, do you have maybe any closing words that you'd like to say?
Yeah, I do. I want to say to the youth, abantu abasha, angazi bashiswa ubani, but abantu abasha. I want to say to them, vuka mntu omnyama, every second you grow, and you are not going to stay young forever. So every second should count. Every day before you go to sleep, ask yourself, what did I learn today? And if the answer is nothing, do like Java instead. The next day, don't get out of bed until you know that when I get out of this bed, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So that when I sleep, at least I can count that I've done 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2 and a half. And then I'm still left with 1.5 that was not accomplished. Funda every day. Question things that you don't understand. Don't expect others to decide for you. Decide for yourself. Thank you.
Sure. No, nice one, Praspiwa. From me, your boy, Siphiwe, Yola, Mbata. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more content from Forever Media. We'll be back with more content. Oh, I'd like to also give a shout out to my friends at Creative Media, for working with us on doing this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, Praspiwa.
You're welcome.
Till next time.